read to you from Scholastic News, One Wild Writer. This is cool because you guys are going to be writing about wild animals too. So, Nick Bishop writes nonfiction books for kids. He also takes photos. He gets up close to some incredible animals. Real animals, real facts. Nonfiction books are true. They have real facts and information. Nick has written books about snakes, moths, frogs, and more. He wants his books to be full of amazing facts and photos. He starts with the photos. Sometimes he travels far away to take photos of animals. Other times he takes photos in his home. He goes to libraries to learn about the animals. He also observes animals. Observes means to watch and listen and look. That means he watches them closely. Then he writes about what he sees. And so now if you look on the bottom here, this shows how Nick puts a book together. It says first Nick picks an animal for his book. Sometimes he travels far to find them. He takes photos in the wild. He also takes photos in his home. Once he put a little pool in his house. He took pictures of this lizard in it. He starts to write once he has the photos. He uses a notebook. He writes 6 drafts. The last draft is on the computer. He makes any final changes. Then the book is done. And this picture here, there's a caption that tells what he's doing. It says here, Nick is in a river in a rainforest. It was the best place to get a photo of a tiny poison dart frog. So you guys are going to be doing your own animal report and following some of these same steps. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Here's a close-up shot of the article that I just read to you, One Wild Writer. I'm also going to go ahead and show you the back side where we talk about different things that will help you find information in a nonfiction book. So while you're doing your report, you'll know right where to look. When you read a nonfiction book, there are parts of a book that can help you find information that you need. For example, Nick wrote some other books too, and this first thing I wanted to go over with you is the title page. It's the author's name and title of the book. You'll always find that on the title page. Then the glossary tells what the hard words in the book mean. So it's like a dictionary in the book. So let's look at one of the words in this glossary. At the top it says antenna. Those are movable parts found on the heads of insects and used to sense things. Okay, and another thing that you might find is really helpful when you're doing your research and writing your report is called an index. This tells you on which pages you can find different facts in the book. And you're going to be telling us about your animal and facts about your animal. So for example, if you were looking at this book and you wanted to find out about camouflage for your animal, you would look on pages 12, 13, 26, and 27, and they would give you a lot of details about camouflage. In your packet and digital resources on Plus Portals, we gave some of these vocabulary words to you so that you could start learning about animals. We would really encourage you to use these words in your report when you write on the 5 sentences about your animals. So one of the words is adaptation, special body parts or behaviors that animals have to survive in their environment. camouflage, colors or patterns on an animal that help it blend into its environment. Defenses, how an animal protects itself. Endangered, animals that are disappearing from the earth. Environment, where a person or animal lives. Extinct, animals no longer living on the earth. Instinct, instincts tell an animal what to do to survive. Habitat, the natural home of an animal. Protection, to keep safe from harm or danger. Predator, an animal that hunts other animals for food. And prey, animals that are hunted. I'm going to show you an example of a graphic organizer that you can make when you're working on your animal report. So I'm going to be showing you what I did, and I wanted to write about a frog. So one of the things you need to include in your animal report is an adaptation, actually 2 different adaptations about your animal. So one that I found was that frogs can breathe through their thin skin. Another adaptation they have is they have strong hind legs for jumping. See, I have the frog in the center, and then I have the lines with the bubbles going out with all the facts. Another thing you're going to need to write about is the environment and habitat that they live in. So an environment is where that they live on land and in water, and their habitat is that they live near ponds and fresh water. Another thing that would be really fun to include in your report is if your animal uses camouflage. So frogs blend into their habitat with their skin color and markings. So this is one way to get your ideas in an organized way so that when you go to write your 5 sentences, you can make sure you have at least 5 facts. This really helped me get organized for my report. As you are writing your animal report, I just want to make sure that you remember to use proper sentences, which means capitalization for the beginning of a sentence, good space between your words, a sentence that has a complete thought, and also make sure you use punctuation at the end, whether it's a period, exclamation point, or question mark. I know you guys are going to do a fabulous job.